I'm Kara, and this week we're going to be talking about a lot of important things, so let's get right into it. So it is the third week of Easter, meaning the priest is still wearing white.
Hey everyone, Marissa here. I am tag teaming with Kara. So she just reminded us that it's the third Sunday of Easter, and our first reading comes from the Acts of the Apostles. So we're going to continue to be in the Acts of the Apostles for the rest of the Easter season for our first reading. And in our first reading, we hear a section of a speech that St. Peter shares. And he shares with us just this beautiful, passionate teaching about who Jesus really is. And that, in fact, many people, while he was alive, did not recognize him as the Messiah. But now he's been crucified and he has risen from the dead. And Peter's like, hey, everybody, he really is the Son of God. He really is our Messiah. And it's not too late to decide to follow him. So Kara's going to share a little bit with you about Peter's passion and kind of how that dovetails with our second reading, which is from one of John's letters. And in this reading, the writer is reminding the first Christian community, the early Christian communities, about what it means to follow Jesus. And he's reminding them that if you really say that you know Jesus and that you're a follower of Jesus, then that means you'll follow his commandments. So let's hear what Kara has to say about that.
So, talking about that, Peter is different from you and me. Peter is different than you and your best friend. And that's okay. You can always be yourself and follow your own path while also following the commandments as hard as you can. Always remember, if you say, I truly love God, he is how, all these miracles happen. That is awesome and amazing. But remember, you need to follow the commandments if you really want to say that and believe it, to strive for it. Always follow the commandments. Following the commandments, what have I done that have been kind to people around me? Discuss.
So our gospel reading comes from the Gospel of Luke. And it's very similar to last week's gospel reading from John in that at the beginning of both of these gospels, we find the disciples afraid. After Jesus died, they were scared. But in this reading, they're scared for a different reason. This time, they're afraid because when Jesus appears, they think that they're seeing a ghost. I'd be scared if I saw a ghost, right? But Jesus does a good job of proving to them that he is who he says he is and that he is not, in fact, a ghost. He does that by eating with them, by showing that he really is fully resurrected in his body. Last week, Jesus showed that it was really, really him by having them look at his hands and his side. So we know Jesus bodily rose from the dead. It wasn't just his spirit floating around and only a couple people saw him for those 40 days after Easter. We have evidence, the gospel writers were very careful to give us evidence that Jesus rose body and soul in all of his humanity and divinity, and that he is indeed God. And he shares some really special words with us in last week's gospel and this week's gospel that Kara is going to talk to you about.
Now, let's talk about peace be with you. I don't know about you, but until a couple years ago, I just saw peace be with you as shaking hands with someone like, peace be with you, and it was kind of just like a nice gesture. But really, that's showing how much you love and care for people in our church, and that is amazing. God is giving you this peace to you to share with someone. So, peace be with you. And that is awesome that he's giving us peace and he's giving us what we need, because being peaceful is great. Being in all different ways, also very different. Everyone gets peaceful in their own ways, and that is awesome. So, another thing of being peaceful, all the time you might think, well, I'm not peaceful right now, but God is trying as hard as he can to make sure you reach that place sometime that day, the next week, the next month. And even if you are scared or you're feared by something, God is by your side. Jesus is by your side, and they are both by your side right now, seeing you watch this, and they're right by my side right now. And you're never alone. You're never alone because they're always with you, and they're always striving to you, like, hey, you can do this. They're supportive. They're awesome. And even if you can't see them right now, you can't see them beside you, they are there. Trust me, they are there. And that is amazing. This week, your challenge is to either like reflect this week and set goals, or set new goals, like resolutions, if you will, like New Year's resolutions, except new week. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.